So let's get started. A guide to today's guide is we want to share with you how to prepare your environment for the upgrade. So what are you going to do before you even start upgrading, before you put disk into the DVD-ROM or start clicking setup.exe and start installing. You want to be prepared for anything that might come in the future, for any upgrades that you might need in the future, any restores if you need a system restore. You want to have everything ready. Then we'll go through performing the upgrade. I don't have it pre-recorded. What I did is I took some screenshots for you because we don't really want to sit here and watch the upgrade happening, do we? Then you will receive your guide with the email that you will get after this webinar is over. You'll also get 2 links. Those 2 links will be 2 checklists that you'll download, instructions and a guide, an actual checklist of instructions. Then, if we have time, we'll go into an alternate route, which would be a side-by-side installation. But the main focus of this webinar is actually upgrading to SOLIDWORKS 2012. And yes, I did say upgrade, not uninstall and clean install. I'm actually talking about the pure upgrade, and there are some benefits to that. All right, so preparing the environment. One of the most important things that you will need is everything that you have customized from within SOLIDWORKS in your system options under file locations. You have folders where you've stored your document templates. You have folders where you've indicated you've saved reference documents. If you're a sheet metal shop, then you might have bend tables and bend line note files and whatever else you might need there. No matter who you are, you probably have your own customized bill of material tables and templates. If you're using costing, you have your costing templates. If you're using a design library, then you have your design library that you need to store and upgrade. All of this information, anything that you have customized or pointed to specifically from your file locations, then you know about it, you've customized it, you need to store it and save it in a safe location. If you're a company of more than one person, you should be saving these things on a network drive. These things already should be located somewhere where everyone in the company has access to them, or at least everyone who's using SOLIDWORKS has access to these files. If you haven't already, that's what we're talking about here. Place them in a network environment where everyone who needs them has access to them, where everyone who accesses them will be accessing the same information so that you'll always be starting with from the same baseline. So anything that's under file locations, that's what we're talking about. And we're putting them into one location. So a quick general list of what most people have are things like templates, your document templates, sheet formats, design libraries, materials databases if you're running simulations before building, which to save money you should. Custom properties files, if you're using any custom properties from within the part and dragging it into and displaying it on the title block of your drawings, you want to save that file so that you can continue to update it and you won't lose information. All of these things are typically found in your computer. I don't remember if this is a hidden folder. It may be, in which case you may need to customize some settings to show hidden folders and files. But it should be stored under C, Program Data, SOLIDWORKS, SOLIDWORKS 2012, assuming you're running 2012 or 2011 or 2010 or whatever you're upgrading from. Other things that I talked about, such as sheet metal bend tables, costing templates, I didn't discuss weldment profiles, but if you need those are also stored typically by default in C program files, SOLIDWORKS Corp. I had mine saved to SOLIDWORKS Corp 2012. Subfolder SOLIDWORKS language English.
And Elba, I just checked that previous location is a hidden folder, so you'll have to show it the program data location on the previous slide.
Beautiful, thanks. You know what? I'll share that with you guys right now. Then I'll show you how to show these files, in case you don't already know. So this is your regular Windows Explorer. You would go to the Organize button. This is Windows 7, by the way. You go to your Organize button. Go to Folder and Search Options. under the View tab down here, you're going to change this from Don't Show Hidden Files, Folders, and Drives to Show Hidden Files, Folders, and Drives. I don't know if C program data is actually a protected operating system file or folder set. You may need to uncheck Hide Protected Operating System Files as well. When you do that and you click OK, it will give you a warning or message asking you if you're sure that you want to do that. So you just click OK again. Thanks for checking, Siobhan.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It's a good thing to think of. I never thought of that when I usually want to upgrade.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of upgrades. As I said, this is the year that I purposely upgraded instead of uninstall, clean installing, or running a side-by-side installation. This was a true upgrade. So then program files, C program files I know is not a hidden folder. All right. Then you're going to gather those into one location, as I mentioned before. What I like to do, and of course, we at Cap Inc., we have to operate as our own little system, and we have our own servers on our laptops that we carry around. But most other places, you're not your own CAD system, right? So in most other places, instead of storing this on just another drive, you're going to store this in a network location. Now, you don't want everything just floating around. So you might want to put it in a folder called SOLIDWORKS Common. Inside of that folder, you would maybe place a subfolder for your bill of materials templates, a subfolder for custom materials libraries, a subfolder for design libraries, and so on and so forth, including, but not limited to, your toolbox. Your SOLIDWORKS data folder is your toolbox, remember. If you're using SOLIDWORKS Sustainability, for those of you who care about our environment and our planet and future generations, your sustainability data and materials library can also be stored here. Weldment profiles, texture, all of these things are things that are already on your system. I do want to point out one folder here, the user-specific folder. It's this one right here. I created that one just for the purposes of being able to administrate SOLIDWORKS and upgrades and changes. And for me specifically, I run around training in different locations and training using different courses, therefore training using different toolbar setups. So I have my custom settings saved for all the different environments that I want to set up. I'll get to that later on, but I do want to point out that what this user-specific folder refers to is anything that the user wants to back up or that you, the administrator, want to back up in terms of settings. All right, so then once you've gathered everything into your location, your one location, as I mentioned before, at least make it a network UNC path. If you're lucky enough to have Enterprise PDM, place everything into your Enterprise PDM root admin folder. Place everything in here. Then you're going to have to go back into SOLIDWORKS. Again, this is before you upgrade.
And folks, while I was going through this, you don't have to be furiously writing things down. We're recording this webinar. We're going to email a copy or a link to this webinar to all the attendees. And if you have any questions as I was going through, feel free to ask them. I'll be monitoring the questions of the GoToMeeting. But the main point is you don't have to write all this stuff down. You just kind of get the general sense of it. We'll give you the recording afterwards.
Yes, thank you, thank you. That's it. This will also be in your downloaded checklists that you'll get a link to those as well.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, Siobhan. Hadn't thought of that. Although if I'd been on the other side, I'd probably be furiously writing these down. All right, so you're going to gather all of these into one location. Then, before upgrading, again, before you upgrade, you go back into SOLIDWORKS. You go back into your system options. You go back into your file locations, and you point each one of these things, your document templates, to that templates folder in your UNC path. Your design library to that folder where you've stored everything under SOLIDWORKS Common. Right, so you go through everything that you normally need that you customize. Now you've prepared the environment, as I mentioned before, not just for today, not just for the day that you're upgrading, but for any other time that you might want to move a server, move or change your SOLIDWORKS environment around, upgrade again, upgrade to the next service back, upgrade to the next. If you don't have PDM and then you do get EPDM, it'll be a simple import. You're preparing yourself for everything else that might come in the future. So it will take a little bit of time just clicking away at the beginning. All of this will pay off. And here's what I mentioned before. Then the last step, after you have pointed all of the SOLIDWORKS file locations to the correct folders and subfolders, you want to store all of those settings. So you go to your SOLIDWORKS Copy Settings wizard. I actually wanted to see what this looked like from 2012 into my 2013 environment. So I ran a Windows, just a regular Windows search, and it came up with about 20 different settings that I have, dating all the way back from 2007. I keep all of mine. But I have, for example, my 2012s, just toolbars and menus. I have something for just file locations, and we'll do a webinar later on how to compartmentalize these. But all you'll do is you'll run the Copy Settings wizard. This is to restore the settings, but it will prompt you to save your settings. So you'll click to save your settings, save them in some UNC path, some stored location, SOLIDWORKS Common, user specific. That's what that folder's for. Once you've upgraded, we'll come back to this, you'll apply these settings to your 2013 SOLIDWORKS. And that's the benefit of upgrading. I have found that when I do a clean uninstall of the previous version and then install the next version, sometimes, I can't figure out when, can't figure out why, but sometimes it doesn't actually apply my settings. So this is why I tested the pure upgrade this time. And you know what? It upgraded my settings perfectly. So big benefits there. All right, perform the upgrade. To actually perform the upgrade, again, this is actually on your second checklist. To actually perform the upgrade, make sure that you're logged on as a local administrator. Make sure that you disable any antivirus or anti-spyware, anti-malware software, not through your system tray, but through your services. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you're using Windows 7, you're going to click on your Start button, you're going to start typing services, and you're going to get this little programs that comes up, services. You're going to open that up, and it's going to give you all of this. It's going to show you stuff that you might not have seen before, or stuff that you might be very familiar with. This, for example, we have Symantec. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different services that are running in order to provide me that one antivirus. So you need to actually disable each one of these services in order for you to install SOLIDWORKS completely, because any software, honestly, any software is going to be blocked to some level by your antivirus. So when I say disable, what do I mean? I mean right-click on that service and click Properties. That will bring up this little window. You're going to stop. You're going to click here to stop the service, and then you're going to set the startup type to disable. Before you do that, though, make sure that you take note of what it was set to before you start making any changes. Take a screenshot, something like this, right, where some of them are automatic, some of them are already disabled. Right, take a screenshot, then start disabling and stopping the services. Now what you're doing here is you're saying, when does this antivirus service initiate when I turn on my computer? By default, they're all set to initiate automatically, which means they turn on before anything else gets loaded. So that if your antivirus thinks that a DLL shouldn't be registered or a registry key shouldn't be written, it will prevent it from happening. Well, in truth, some DLLs don't get registered until a reboot of the system. So essentially, your antivirus would be preventing you from completely installing some software. So we've seen that happen with SOLIDWORKS. So that's why I say not only stop your antivirus, but disable it. If you feel comfortable, unplug your computer from the network. If that's an issue for you, unplug your computer from the network. You're not going to do anything while you're upgrading anyway. And then you perform the upgrade. If you have downloaded the files, oh, and by the way, did I talk about the background downloader?
No, you did not yet.
I didn't. I think I'll get to it. Yes, I know I'll get to it. Because I actually found out that the background downloader is pretty awesome. But After you've done all of your preparation, then you go and perform the upgrade. Before I start on the upgrade stuff, Shivam, are there any questions?
There are no questions yet. I'm still monitoring the questions and chat window in GoToMeeting and can't see anything yet.
Great. Either this is very clear or people aren't paying attention. All right, let's keep going anyway. All right, so you might be familiar with the installation manager. If you're not, you'll get familiar with it. So this is, I'm talking very specifically about an individual installation, means on this computer, client by client, if that's how you're thinking. I'm not talking about the server. I'm not talking about anything other than the SOLIDWORKS core product, simulation product, basic SOLIDWORKS products. Right. So next page in your installation manager is entering your serial number. Quick trick for entering your serial number. If you have it all written out in Notepad, for example, whether you have spaces or not, you can highlight the entire 24-digit string, put your cursor over the first field, click in the first field, and press Control-V to paste, and it'll paste the entire 24-digit string into its appropriate fields. So you don't have to sit there typing by hand. All right, so I had SOLIDWORKS 2012 installed here. When I started the 2013 installation, it asked me, it detected that I already have another version, and it's asking me, do you want a new installation of SOLIDWORKS? This is what we used to call, or still call, a side-by-side installation. If you've attended my upgrade webinars before, you've seen me perform a side-by-side installation. That's what this create a new installation of SOLIDWORKS refers to. We're talking just about running the pure upgrade from 2012 to 2013. So I selected upgrade and then next. So the products that it's going to upgrade, it's just detecting all of the products that you have at 2012. So it detects there at 2012 SP4 upgrading to 2013 SP1. I just minimized that because it was all of the products. What I wanted to talk about was, here it is, drum roll please, the background downloader. Because this thing is really awesome, actually. There it is. It looks like just the little SOLIDWORKS icon in your system tray. And if you hover over it, it will tell you it's a SOLIDWORKS background downloader. And you know what? It already finished downloading my stuff, so it's not currently downloading. It's not using up any network bandwidth. It's not taking up any resources. Minimal resource to run the process that just checks and pings every once in a while. Hey, is there a new download? Hey, is there a new download? Hey, is there a new download? So this is taking up minimal system resources. I know that I, along with many of you, were worried about.
Sure, Elba.
I am.
Sure.
I'm running an EPDM server on this computer, no problem. And you know what? I didn't have to worry about downloading and taking the time to download SOLIDWORKS 2013 SP1 before I ran this webinar, because it had already downloaded it for me. It's awesome. Seamless.
Okay.
Seamless in the background.
I'll try it out in 2013. I had it off for all of 2012, but I'll try it out in 2013 if you're sure it's not downloading all the time.
I'm sure. There it is. It's not currently downloading. Picture right there.
Not currently. No, I'll try it. It would be nice to say, go to the next service pack, and it's just right there. You know, that would be nice.
Exactly, and that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. I realized, okay, I have to sit down and prepare this webinar. I've been holding off on my upgrade just so that I could take the screenshots. Oh no, now I have to download, and then I remembered, wait a minute, I don't need to. I already downloaded it. So it's automatically checking, and I have it set. If you were to actually click on it, it brings up this little menu. You can have it automatically check for updates, and then it'll tell you, hey, there's an update available, and then let you decide what you want to do about that information.
Yeah.
Or I have mine set to automatically download for me.
Hey, Delva, we got a question on this one, which is appropriate. It says, in 2012, the background downloader does not run properly if you're not logged in as administrator. Have they fixed that in 2013?
Ooh, I actually haven't checked because I'm always logged in as we're local admins to our machines.
Right.
Can you write down the name of that person, Shivam, and we'll get back to them offline?
Yeah,
And
no,
if it's something
go
that's
to
still
meeting
an
captures. We
issue,
can definitely. Yeah, Daniel. So we'll get back to your question by email. GoToMeeting captures the question.
yeah. And if
So
it's something that is still an issue, we'll send out a little blast to all our attendees.
okay. And also we got a second question on this, which is what I used to do in 2012. How do you disable the background downloader to keep all the users on the same service pack?
Ah, that's right here. You select disable background downloader. Also, if you're an administrator, you're concerned with having everyone at the same service pack, there are two suggestions. One, you can use an administrative image, and then they don't even get the background downloader. Two, right here under download options in the summary area of your installation manager, you can click change right here. And remember, this is just a screenshot, so I won't actually be able to click it. But you can click change, and it will give you the options of disabling the background downloader, enabling it only for future service packs, enabling it to download or just to check, and all of those options are available right here.
That's how I usually do it.
Yeah, and then it doesn't even get gets initiated on the client machine.
Yeah, and to answer Craig's question, that'll keep them from downloading it, but automatically, but it doesn't keep them from installing it. They can go manually download it and install it. So what Elba was saying was the administrative image is a way to keep them all in the same service pack. So we can email you about that later.
Yeah. Thanks, Shivam. Because if you're really that concerned, an administrative image is definitely the way to go. And you know what? If there's enough demand, we'll run another webinar just on admin images and how to set those up nicely. Because those can be fun too. Either that or we're just geeks. All right. Enough on background downloader. Okay. So of the other things that the SolidWorks Installation Manager will check is, yes, I've already told it once that I want to upgrade my SolidWorks from 2012 to 2013. But I also have Toolbox installed. It knows where my Toolbox folder is. So it just wants to make sure one more time that I really want to upgrade my Toolbox. Because if you're in a company and you have a whole bunch of people working off of the same network Toolbox, which is how it should be done, then all of those Toolbox files will now get upgraded and saved as 2013 format. They won't be able to be opened as 2012 anymore. So it's just giving you one more prompt to let you know, hey, this is a significant change. Everyone needs to be at 2013 because if you have a 2012 person, they won't be able to use the Toolbox or Whole Wizard anymore. So just click yes to that one. And I'm actually going to go back a couple. Download options, installation location, where it's installing from, it detects automatically, and Whole Wizard Toolbox. All right. And then you click install now. And that brings me to when it's performing the upgrade, aside from upgrading SolidWorks, it's also installing or upgrading a few prerequisites. So here's the list of the prerequisites. Again, we'll just send this to you. What I found interesting is that I'm watching this upgrade and it says, bonjour. And I'm thinking, what? So I ran a quick check. Don't be afraid. To have something that says it's upgrading bonjour definitely sounds like some sort of malware. Don't be afraid. This is part of PhotoView 360, which is the PhotoView 360 is the rendering tool. Aside from that, it's basically the .NET frameworks, the Office 2003 web components, Visual C++, all the redistributables, VB for applications, all of that. And then if you're running 64-bit, then there's some 64-bit specific prerequisites. So all of that gets installed, and then you'll see upgrading SolidWorks. At the very end of the installation or the upgrade, when you get your installation is complete, congratulations message, it also asks you to join the SolidWorks Customer Experience Improvement Program. Now, again, this is another misnomer where we don't know about something, so we don't use it. But let me educate you guys. I would definitely say, click yes, I want to join. Because regardless of whether you click yes or no, the information is getting stored. all of the information that it's looking for example, any crashes, any slow performances, anything that has to do with the SOLIDWORKS application not working as expected, all of that, anytime that you end the process, if you manually end the process, all of that information is getting stored in terms of what was the last thing that was run, what is the graphics card that's installed, what is the graphics driver that's installed, what other software or hardware things might be affecting the performance of SOLIDWORKS on your system. All of that information is already getting gathered, and it's being stored in a folder, and that folder gets deleted when it reaches, I believe it's 100K. So that folder, or that file gets created and periodically cleansed anyway. So why not say, yes, I want to join the Experience program? We, as tech support engineers, have seen the value in having our users send this information. Because when we go to SOLIDWORKS World, which we'll be doing next week, or the week after that, I forget. When we go to SOLIDWORKS World, there's a tech support meeting that we all go to, and they've shown us which graphics cards are proven by means of the SOLIDWORKS Customer Experience Improvement Program, which graphics cards are proven to fail and crash SOLIDWORKS, which graphics cards are proven to be more stable. That gives us, based on field information, the ability to give you better recommendations. Right, so it all really does come back to you.